I'm not the type's gotta have someone. I'm not the type's gotta be in love. I had a lot of people come and go, and plus anyway, I'm used to being solo. But it was good when you came to me. You were the one to make me believe that life could be better, that we can get by together. Come sit down.
Hello and welcome to my channel, A Mayday. As you saw in the previous clip, I am making sourdough starter. Day one, as you read in the instructions, and I didn't actually film that because I was filming in one of my my Facebook group, Ladies and Gents Let's Cook. So if you're really interested in that, you can go over there. But you can see the instructions where day one you would use 1 cup of flour. For half a cup of water, has to be bottled. It cannot be chlorinated water. Day two, all I did was feed it. I took half of the portion out of here, and then I discarded it. And it can be used, the discarded portion, from what I heard people say on YouTube, and I watched some people make pancakes out of it or cookies. You don't have to throw it away if you don't want to. But this is day three. Day three, as you can see, is bubbling. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get the clips, the footage from my Facebook group. So all I'm gonna do today is I'm discarding half of the starter, and then I'm gonna add 1 cup, and see, I can look at it right here and say half, so I'm going to here. This is how I eyeball it. So this is here, so I'm going down here. That'll be I'm sorry, you can't see it, a half. So it's gonna be, I'm taking out 1/2 cup of this, half of the mixture here, and then I'm gonna add 1 cup of flour, and then 1/2 cup of water. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. It takes about 7 to 10 days to make this. It's not a hard process. It's a slow process. Years ago, I did do it. I did it years ago, and I kept it for a couple of months. Okay, but then I don't know. I don't know, lost my patience with it or something, or I just wasn't baking this bread as much. But the family has grown since then. I have new family members, added since I did the first one, so I can give them the bread, okay, and they can have it. So you have to, ultimately, you'll end up feeding your starter once a week if you're baking bread once a week. And I figure I'll bake bread, and then I will also like give it away, freeze it, and then give it away to family members, because it freezes really well. Okay, it really freezes well. So we're gonna use 1, and this is organic all-purpose flour. You can use wheat. When I start baking the actual sourdough bread, I'm gonna switch up to some wheat when I actually bake it. Okay, so we're gonna put 1 cup of flour. This is organic. I heard you can use any type, and a matter of fact, I think the first time I did it, I used regular flour. I didn't, use anything, like spiffy or anything like that. And I have to add the first time, y'all. All right, so all I'm gonna do is add 1/2 cup of bottled water. Okay, and then stir it. All right, then tomorrow, we call this feeding it. Tomorrow I'll come back and we'll do the same thing. Now I believe it's day 5. I gotta go back and reread my instructions, because like I said, it's been some years since I did it, so I got to go back and refresh myself on it. But I believe it's day 5 that I don't leave the top on it tightly as I have all the other days. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up. This is the perfect actual container to keep it in, because it's so big I don't have to worry about mess and all of that. So make sure everything is incorporated and mixed up. And I can smell it. I can smell like, you know, like the kind of like a doughy, you know, like the sourdough smell that's coming in there. I can smell it now, guys. Alright, so that's it for that. I'm gonna cover this. Make sure I got everything here because there's a lot of it in here. Yep, all of it is done. Everything has been mixed in. Alright, okay. So, ooh, thick. We'll be back tomorrow where we will finish feeding it. I'm going to put this lid on it. Okay, just like that. Just like this. And then tomorrow we will feed it again. And tomorrow is day 4. I believe it's the 5th day, like I said, then I'm not supposed to leave it on, you know, covered up as much. Alright, so we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello everybody, so we are back for day 4 of feeding the starter. As you can see here, there is definitely a lot of bubble activity going on. And I'm going to just remove some of it. Okay. That's it, a little bit more. I'm eyeballing it. I've been doing this for a while. Well, like I said before, I hadn't did it in years, but once you do it one time, you'll never forget. Okay, so let me rinse off my finger here. It's definitely a strong smell. I can smell it. John smelled it. He was like, he didn't really want to, you know, smell it again. But you know, it has a sour smell to it. So we're gonna add 1 cup of the organic flour. And this here is this particular, what you're looking at right here is, let's see, 3/4. Well, I can hold 1 cup. So, yeah, I think it's a 3/4 cup. So I'm gonna add that much in there. I think that'll be enough. And then we're gonna do 1/2 of water. And remember, it has to be water that is, you know, from a bottle. And then we're just going to stir again. Now when I start making it, I'm going to be using bread flour. And you can use, if you want to, you can use whole wheat. You know, like I said before. As a matter of fact, when I first, this is the truth. When I first made my starter, I used regular flour. It wasn't bleached though. It was unbleached flour. I used regular unbleached flour is all I used. That's it. And the water. Bottled water. I remember that. I remember the water couldn't have chlorine in it, but you know, so many people will tell you, if you know, look online on YouTube, a lot of people will give you different instructions as to what, you know, type of flour you should use. I started off, like I said, with the organic flour, only because the organic flour, for some reason, it's worked faster. You know, when you, and I think by day 2, I could smell it. I could smell it. But when I did it with the regular flour, it didn't, it was longer than that. So one more time. It took maybe 4 days for me to start smelling it. But when I use this, it's really thick, y'all. When I used the organic flour, it didn't take that long. And this right here, I'm going to give that to my sister. So I actually got 2 going. I'm just showing y'all how I'm doing this one. But I got two going, really. This is another starter this I'm doing for my sister. So we'll be back tomorrow, day 5. Again, I'm gonna cover it with my top, and by day 7 I'll be ready to bake. Okay, All right, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, y'all, so the starter is ready, and I am so excited. So we are going to bake bread. Starter's done. Now, I think it took me, I think it was 7 or 8, maybe 9 days before the starter was ready. I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest with you. I sometimes my memory is bad, and I felt like something was wrong with me, and then I researched one of my prescriptions that I take for fibromyalgia. I'm gonna move this for a second so y'all can see the test. It makes me forgetful. So because I was scared at one point, thinking something was wrong. But anyway, here's the starter dough. All I did was use bread, flour, and water. Now the test, they said to see if the sourdough is ready, and I read this from a lot of professional chefs, or bakers. They say you just take some and see if it floats. If it floats, then it's ready. Okay, it's ready. It's floating, as you can see. So that's the test. If your flour dough floats like this, okay, that means it's ready. And you guys can see it is floating. Okay, that's the test that bakers say you can do. Now, like I said, you can use wheat flour. I'm using bread flour today. Oops, I didn't mean to leave that in there. Okay, so I'm going to be using bread flour today. All right, and I'm going to be using probably 1/2 cup. No, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use 1 cup of starter. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I have so many recipes for bread. There are so many out there too, and I have researched a lot of them. Okay, I mean, I can't tell y'all how many I researched regarding sourdough bread recipe. Make sure y'all can see it. Okay, so here I go. I put this here. I think y'all can see it. I think that's it. Yep, there you go. You can see real good. So we're gonna go ahead and first we're gonna put we're using 3 cups. 3 cups of flour, and I'm going to use bread flour like I said. Sourdough is not, it's easy to once you get it made and everything, you can use this starter forever. Okay, if you really don't want to go through all this, was like, you know what, I don't got time to go through all of that. Hold on one second. You say, I don't have time to go through all that. Then you know what? That's cool. You can go to your bakery, your local bakery, and you can tell your ask them, say, you have any sourdough starter that I can get from you all? And I don't know, maybe they'll give it to you for free. I never done that, but I was listening to a baker on YouTube, and he said that that you can do that. He said they'll be more than more than kind enough to help you. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. So I never did it, but hey, and you can mail this too. You can mail it to somebody if you want to, because I'm thinking about mailing something to my son. I got to research more about it, but yeah. Okay, so this is 3 cups of flour. All right, and like I said, I'm just using the bread flour. Okay, which I use for some other things too. But anyway, so I'm gonna use. Let me make a little well inside, and then I'm gonna add. Well, I think I'm gonna put all the dry ingredients first. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon, and I'm adding pink Himalayan salt. Okay, I use this every day. You can add flaxseed, ground flaxseed. You can add any type of seeds you want to at this point. Okay, that's just your preference if you want. So I'm going to add 1 cup of starter, and here's the starter here. And y'all excuse me, I'm playing musical. Well, not musical, y'all know what I mean. So I'm going to put 1 cup of starter in here, and then I have to, once I put the start, well, I'm gonna do 1/2 cup, because I had read you can use 1 cup to 1/2 cup. So I'm just gonna do Well, yeah, okay. So let's go with 1 cup. Because a lot of people say, I've read some people say they use a half a cup. Some people say they use 1 cup. You know, it just depends on your starter, I guess. So we'll find out what this starter is made of. So I put a little hole in there so that way I can just put the starter in. Okay. And like so. It was fun to make. I mean, you know, like I said, it's just, you just gotta have patience. It's not anything that, you know, gonna be rushed. But once you do it, you know, you can put the starter in the refrigerator, because we don't eat a lot of bread, okay? But I figure, you know, if we do, this bread will freeze very well, okay? And then just say you put the starter in there, and you like, you know what, I want to make some bread, and it's gonna, you know, and it may be like 3 weeks from now, you pull your starter out, even though it's 3 weeks, it's been 3 weeks, and you just, you know, feed it again, you know. I heard people say they do 1-in-1 ratio, but I didn't. It was a recipe that, like I said, I got offline. It was a lady named Misty Prepper. She had a YouTube channel, and Misty has left a half a cup of water. Remember, guys, it can't be the water. At this point, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. You can use regular water at this point, okay? I'm so used to using this kind of water that I'm telling y'all again. But no, you can actually use any type of water when we get to this point. But like I was saying, I was watching this lady named Misty Prepper. And she had a YouTube channel. I think her videos are still in circulation, but she don't, you know, she's not active like she used to be. She don't post anymore. But I'm telling you, that's who I had first learned how to do it. And this was some years ago. Now, when you see your starter beginning to look like this, okay, what you can do, don't get all, you know, antsy and think, especially when it's sticking to your fingers, because now I'm getting ready to put my hands in here, my right hand. I don't like cooking with this hand because my ring is on here, so I always use one of these, and then I use my my right hand. But when you see it sticky like this, it don't mean you got to add more flour. That's a mistake that people do, okay? You can add more water, but don't add more flour, because when you add more flour, basically, you know, and this is the truth, you know, when you add more flour, it's just gonna, you know, make it hard for it to rise. All sourdough is you're taking the place of regular store-bought yeast. That's it, okay? That's all it is. Now, if the stuff hit the fan, you know what I'm saying, let's say something happened, and, you know, you couldn't, you know, get any yeast, this would be a good alternative, okay? This big alternative. You can't always put a little bit of water in this, a little bit, not that much, okay? So I can get to a point where it may get sticky to your hands, and like I said, when it do, don't you know, put more flour in there. Just keep on working with it, because eventually it's gonna all come together, and you'll see that. Now I'm gonna probably speed it up because it takes a little minute. So I'm still doing it, y'all. But I'm gonna speed it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, thought you left me in the desert to die. A sip of water and I came back to life. Bet your money that I'll always survive. Just watch how I push through the rocks. I'll crawl from the sand up to the top. I will not fall down on these rocks. The rocks keep me stronger. Thought you left me in the desert to die. A sip of water and I came back to life. Bet your money that I'll always survive. Just watch how I push through the rocks. Looking over all the desert I can see. You thought the way was impossible for me. Still I made it from the dark into the light. Just watch how I push through the rocks. Out of the desert, I have made a paradise. It came together. I sip of some water and I made it alive. You learned a lesson. I'm never the one to just give up and die. Say your confession. Just open your hands and take back all of your rocks. Against the storm, I will not stop. I will be done. I'll reach the top. These years I've grown to love the rocks. The rocks made me stronger. Thought you left me in the desert to die. A sip of water and I came.
Okay, y'all, so the next step is you see here it is. Okay, and I didn't have to use no extra flour except for the flour that I put down on the counter so I can, you know, work with it and get it going. Okay, so here it is here. All right, now we don't want it to dry out. Okay, so what we do is we add a little bit of oil to, this is where it's gonna, I guess they call it proof, is what I read. This is where we'll proof it. Right, I'm just gonna just oil this, it won't stick, and then we'll put it in here because this is where it's gonna rise. Now what happens is, and I put a little bit of oil on top of it so that it don't dry out. Okay, that's what I do. You know, I don't, to each his own. You know, so, you know, because a lot of people are very critical, and they'll come after you. Okay, if you don't do it the way they know how to do it or whatever, they will come after you and say that's not how you do it. Well, guess what? Everybody do everything different. Okay, so for the next every 30 minutes, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do a fold and stretch for the next 90 minutes. I have to do that. And it's breaking down something inside of it. I'm not really sure exactly what it does, and I'm sure somebody in the comment section will let me know, but you have to do it. I read it somewhere. Okay, it does something. Okay, so now all we have to do, we're going to cover this with a damp cloth, and every 30 minutes, like I said, we'll come back in here and we'll do pull and stretch. I'm just gonna take you through it one time. I'm not gonna, come back, every 3 times and do it. I'm just gonna do it one time, and then I'll show y'all that. And then the next time, it'll rise. I'll flatten it down, and then I'm gonna put it in the actual. And I don't have a Dutch oven, and let it rise in the actual pan that I be baking it in. This, I seen people say get Dutch ovens, but I don't have one, so this right here won't suffice. This pan right here that I got, we're gonna use that. So we'll be back in 30 minutes to do one pull and stretch. Okay, and thank you for watching, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, y'all. It took about for this loaf to rise, because there's no yeast, just the yeast from the starter. It was, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11. It took about 8 hours. Okay, so now I'm going to put cuts in it, and this is a bread lame. It's just a razor blade on a piece of wood, and you basically cutting into it and making your own like design or your own signature. So I'm come across like that. Okay, so now we're gonna put it into, I don't have a Dutch oven, but what I use to me is just like a Dutch oven. I'm going to show y'all in a minute what I use. because, like I said, I don't have a Dutch oven. But this is gonna do. You gotta let your pot get hot, okay? And then, what I do, because I already got it in the parchment paper, I just drop it in like that, and then I put the top on it like this, okay? And then bake it for 40 minutes with the top on, and then take it out and bake it another additional 10 minutes with the top off. And I also put water. I put ice cubes in the oven when I take the top off, you know, so it don't dry out. So that's important. Sometimes I just put it in there anyway. I don't know what it says, so the bread won't dry out or something, but so the steam won't let it dry out. So okay guys, so I literally just took it out of the oven, and this is how it looks. Okay, I baked it at, I had my pan to get hot at 450, and then I turned it down to 400. I baked it for 40 minutes. I removed the top, and I put some ice cubes in a lid tray, and here it is. And see my little designs where I use my bread lame. That's how it looks. And yeah, so you could do this, guys. It's not hard. You know, it just takes patience and time. And you know, I guess happy breading or happy sourdoughing. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.